Hello. Mute the bloody TV.
Oh, what a disastrous start.
What a rocky start. What a rocky start it's been. That tree behind Julian has fallen over within... we had 4 minutes left until live, and it just flopped. And he's got one bauble.
One bauble. It's not broken.
No.
If Andrea's watching. We just need to find the top, which is still on the tree. Somewhere. We'll do that later.
Yeah.
The sleighs
We'll definitely sort it out.
Yeah, but they're only on loose.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're only propped on, so I propped them back on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So thank you for tuning in. I am Mike. I am with Brogan.
Hello.
And Julian.
Morning.
Also known as the Bard. He's the one that writes the beautiful crypto poem Taurus.
Yes, got another one on the way, haven't we?
Another one on the way, which we've had a preview of in the office, which is beautiful.
Yep.
It is, yeah.
And not very Christmassy yet.
No.
Are we holding off for the Christmas ones until the 15th, 16th?
Got to be a bit later, hasn't it?
Got to be a bit later.
I think so, yeah.
Right.
I agree. So before we get onto the charts, what are we looking at today, Brogan?
We're looking at quite a few things today. We have some. I was going to save this till the end. Normally we give 3 things, which we're doing, but I want to really emphasise on this, which is the last article. The title being Cock Punch. Now, me and Julian don't know what is in this article. The only person who does know is him, Rain Man.
Yep.
So that's going to be very exciting.
There's a good reason for that, isn't there? There's a good reason why I'm the only one.
I don't think there is.
Again.
Yeah,
again, carrying
the
team.
work.
I do all the work.
We just turn up.
You just turn up.
Right.
But we add the spontaneity and the salt that brings out the good taste in everything that we do.
You are the John Travolta in the confused meme.
The Yorkshire pudding, which absorbs the flavour.
That's right. Yeah, the leeches.
Yeah.
No. I like that name. So we have that. We have
Twitter Files Part 2.
Twitter Files, which is the big one. We also have 2 very interesting articles. One about Crypto.com, which only came out yesterday. Right. So that was a late edition. We're going to go through and look at their proof of reserves.
Is that good news?
Brilliant news.
Excellent. My money's safe.
And then we have an article about, I hope you're both sitting comfortably for this, anonymous crypto Visa cards that require no KYC.
Wow.
Oh, really?
No KYC. So we'll get onto that in a bit.
And Kevin O'Leary.
Forget that one. That's just a stocking filler.
Oh.
That's the stocking filler that you don't want.
Well, you have to appreciate
it's like a pair of socks. That's the pair of socks in our Christmas stocking.
Kevin O'Leary is coming right before Cock Punch. So it's like the stocking before Christmas. You really have to appreciate the build-up to Christmas with the stocking fillers.
Okay. Well,
Really
before we get to Kevin
like
O'Leary...
an calendar.
Exactly. Why do you have an advent calendar? That's right, to count down till Christmas.
Yeah.
But you still have to appreciate the time of what's going on right now, which is countdown to Christmas.
Yeah. You got an advent calendar this year?
Yeah, I do.
What have you got?
Just a normal chocolate one.
Hotel chocolate.
Oh, normal chocolate one.
What about you? What have you got?
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans. No.
Yeah. I love a jelly bean.
One year I got Bean Boozled and it was awful because it was every day of misery. Because you'd eat it and go, "Oh, yummy, farts."
Talking of misery,
lovely, baby vomit. Where?
Talking of misery, can we look at the crypto prices?
Yes, right. I'm already on Bitcoin. I should probably get off
because I don't think people tuned into Advent Calendars Are Us this morning.
Right.
I think they've tuned into Crypto Warehouse.
Okay, apologies.
It's fine. You can talk about your Advent calendars. It's
now.
good.
the rule I was given before we started the stream was to look at anything on the 7-day percentage change, which was above 2%. Nothing is above 2%.
Perfect.
What's second on the item gender then?
Before we get that far,
Let's just move straight on.
what's the Bitcoin price?
Seven-
17,150.
Whoa, why are you
whoa.
talking? He's looked. Oh,
I haven't looked.
all right. What do you think?
17,162.
Okay, what do you think?
17,161.
He's closer for one day
Katie.
of ever 1 day. 17,169 now.
Eat my prediction.
Wow. I am very
I
impressed.
don't think I'd see the day.
I didn't think I'd see the day either.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Bitcoin was until 3 months ago.
No, I didn't.
So guessing the price it's an improvement.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
I feel crushed now. So before we get on to
Oh, right.
our articles, we have some word on the birds. We've got 2 today,
Okay.
one of which we've added late again because I just found it quite funny.
Yeah.
Which is it? Which one have you got there first?
The Cointelegraph news one.
What does that say?
Funny opinion. SBF went from genius wonderkind to I so dumb and sorry. So quick, not even Alameda could have traded against it.
Wow.
That tickled me. That
It's a ticklish
he
one.
tickled it. He went from the savior of crypto to being
The demon of crypto.
to claiming absolute ignorance on everything in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
No. Do
So
we
I like
think we'll
that.
ever see the headline, Sam Bankman-Fried?
No,
Because he's never going to go to jail, is he?
I think we'll stick with
Oh.
Sam Bankman
Oh,
fraud.
that's good now.
I think it'll stick with Sam Bankman
Yeah, but
fraud.
he's never going to go away, is he?
He's hired Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer
Right.
as his lawyer.
Right.
He'll get away with it.
So he's called, the term's lawyered up. He's lawyered up now.
Yeah.
And the
How's
girl,
he paying for that? Because that's not going to come cheap, is it?
no, I've no idea.
Hmm.
I don't want to say how he's paying for it. Our channel will get
Yeah,
kicked off.
probably would, yeah.
But he's in the Bahamas. Ghislaine Maxwell, Bahamas. I mean, 2 and 2.
Yeah.
There's an island out there somewhere
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah,
which we
with
can't
a
mention.
very special friend he's with.
With a very
Yeah.
special friend who may or may not have
Still be alive.
deceased.
Yeah.
So, what's the second?
A very beautiful second, very nice second tweet from Jack Dorsey, I believe, the previous owner or previous owner of Twitter. He the founder of Twitter,
The founder of Twitter,
who now makes the other thing.
credit card processing.
Right.
in China.
Powering a rural Kenya village and securing the Bitcoin network with excess hydropower, all while lowering rates to 2,000 people, 500 families, around $10 a month to $4. So, he's powering a Kenyan village.
The village themselves are powering themselves.
Wow. Self-empowered.
He's just
literally.
Bitcoin.
referring to it. So yes, they're generating Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin that they're generating has reduced their energy bills by 60%.
Brilliant.
It might be £6 a month, $1 a month to some people,
Yeah.
but that's half a month's salary to others.
Impressive, that.
More real world
Yeah.
benefit
Adoption.
adoption.
Yeah.
That's the word. Evolution,
Not revolution.
not revolution.
Yeah.
That's the one. Now we move on to the main topic, which is the Twitter lies. So
Yes.
for those that weren't watching or haven't seen the previous stream that we did, Elon Musk is starting to release all the information about Twitter and what they've been up to in the last few years,
Yeah.
especially to do with rigging elections.
Is Mr. Trump back on Twitter now?
No,
Is he not?
no.
He didn't want to be back on.
He's not coming back just yet.
Oh.
So I think what he's doing, he's going to wait for the most impact to come
Doesn't he have
back.
his own little platform? I don't think he has his own platform.
He was going to have his own platform,
Right.
but that was all bluster.
Does he still look like a quaver sat atop of what's it?
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while. The last time I saw him, he was atop a podium in the rain, and his foundation washed off, and his white shirt went orange.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's my joke of the year, by the way, that one.
I know it is. You've only used it twice.
Yeah, I love it.
It's not bad. It's
No.
a good joke. So, Twitter is now being cleansed of everything that it's done
Yeah.
by Elon Musk. He has to do it, otherwise he'll become implicit.
Yes.
So this isn't him doing it from the goodness of his heart. He's doing it because if he doesn't do it and it comes out, they'll tar him with the same brush.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first batch, we found out that the Democrats were requesting the left wing were requesting that right wing individuals were being removed from Twitter, which is not very nice.
No.
And obviously could be misconstrued as skewing the election because it all happened throughout the election. So the second Twitter files that have been released are even more damning than the first.
To who?
To Twitter and to the Democrat Party.
Oh dear.
And it's even worse. I don't know how it can be any worse, but I think he's releasing them in waves of severity. So he started with the easiest one, and now we're getting to the
How
kind
many parts are there going to be?
I think there's going to be several.
Oh,
I think he's going to release them one a week. Now did we mention last Wednesday about the FBI agent being caught?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Jack Jackson, well, isn't it?
Jack Jackson. We don't need to cover that again. So do you want to start us off with the beginning of these tweets?
Yeah, thread, the Twitter Files Part 2, Twitter's secret blacklists. A new Twitter Files investigation reveals that teams of Twitter employees build blacklists, prevent disfavored tweets from trending, and actively limit the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. Take, for example, Stanford's Dr. J.
Dr. J. You can shorten lots of names, just call him J.
Who argued that COVID lockdowns would harm children. Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist, which prevented his tweets from trending. So here's a page. I think this is
Is this the example Twitter profile?
Yeah, it's a Twitter UI with recent abuse strike, trends blacklist.
So there's lots of. So Julian knows what we're talking about. There's lots of different options that Twitter employees see on your profile. So they'll go to your profile and they'll see blacklist, shadow ban, limit. What else is there of any importance on there?
Strike count.
Strikes, things like that. So they put... And when these options are checked, you as an individual are not informed.
Yeah.
Now, shadow banning means that you think you're tweeting to other people, but nobody else can see what you're writing.
Oh.
So you're in an echo chamber of one, which is you. So this is how it started, but now it gets a bit more clandestine because that's just... That's say, it's Twitter just being careful about how it controls people. But now it gets worse.
Another example here. Consider the popular right-wing talk show host, Dan, who at one point was slapped with a search blacklist. So here's a UI again. So the yellow boxes are what is active on his profile. So he has notifications spike and search blacklist. Some other things here.
So basically, you can stop people appearing in the search results. That's another option. So if somebody says to you, right, go and search for the Bard on Twitter to try and find you, if you've been blacklisted, you won't show up in the search results. So what that does is it limits the number of people that find you and therefore follow you. So it's just another way of controlling your profile.
To a degree, you have to have these, though, don't you?
You
don't
do.
want extremists on there.
Correct.
But it's how they're using it.
Correct.
Is what's wrong.
Because you've just mentioned that he's right wing.
Yeah.
Immediately, I'm thinking.
There's different severities of left wing and right wing.
Yeah.
So you can have people that preach violence and hatred. They can be considered to be right wing or extreme left wing.
Yeah.
But then you can have somebody that believes in socialism. Well, that's right wing. Left wing.
Yeah.
Or someone that believes in capitalism. Well, you know what I mean. So
yeah.
There's extremes.
Yeah.
And you're right. It should be used for anybody that's promoting hatred or promoting things which shouldn't be promoted. These things need to be there. But that's not what
they're being misused, is what we're saying. Or what Elon is saying.
Yeah. What the facts are saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Twitter set the account of conservative activist Charlie Kirk to do not amplify. I assume that's for the algorithm. If a topic he talks about is trending, it would amplify his account to people who have looked at this.
Yep.
You don't think that's what's happening to us on YouTube, do you? That's why we're not more famous.
I think so.
Because why are we not more famous?
I don't know.
We are very good at what we do.
We are.
Yeah. Do you reckon we're in our own little singular echo chamber and YouTube's giving us fake
It does feel
accounts?
like that in this room.
And just pop it in.
Maybe I can't type, and maybe I've misspelt crypto all along.
Yeah.
And
And your
maybe
computer's set to misspell it the whole time.
maybe we're crypto whorehouse, and maybe nobody searches for
nightmare.
those. Nobody searches those kind of things on YouTube, especially.
That's why I've been shadow banned off the bat.
So we are in our own echo chamber of 3.
Right.
So
Is
Charlie
anybody
Kirk,
listening though that can disprove that? Let's hear from them.
exactly.
Do you like that program?
I was listening, sorry.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I was reading the next one.
After last Wednesday's incidents,
debacle.
he's only got 4 vouchers to use today.
Right.
Oh, right. I'm going to do it after this one, don't worry.
Okay.
I'll segue
I
it.
am not worried at all. I know you're going to do it.
Okay, so what's the next? So Charlie Kirk,
So we had all these examples, and Twitter denied such things, saying they don't shadow ban people, and especially we do not shadow ban people based on their political viewpoints or ideology. Obviously, it's wrong.
yeah.
Think about so VF. So visibility filtering refers to Twitter's control over users' visibility. It uses VF to block searches of individual users. Right, we don't know this. The group that decided whether to limit the reach of certain users was the Strategic Response Team, Global Escalation Team, or SRT-GET. It often handed up to 200 cases a day. Wow. So, but a bunch of names here.
Isn't there an example of a left-wing person that was promoting herself in a very aggressive way, and she was warned quite a few times, and it ended up being about 6 or 7 times, and they still didn't ban her because she was left-wing? That's mentioned in there as well.
Well, on 16, this might talk about it. One of the accounts that rose to this level of scrutiny was Libs of TikTok, an account which was on the Trends blacklist and was designated as "Do not take action on user without consulting with SIPPES."
Do not take action on user until you speak to the bosses, which basically means
Favoritism.
favoritism.
Yeah.
Leave
Of
her
this
alone.
left-wing person. It's basically saying the account now has 1.4 million followers, and it's still up there even though it's been warned so many times.
Correct.
It has 2 strike counts, as I can see from the photo.
So is that it from the
121. It's all just talking about the same things again
Fine.
and again.
I mean, we don't have to do any more. We've kind of covered the concept is that Twitter had a load of secretive tools to limit people's visibility,
Yeah.
which, like you said a minute ago, is great if those people are promoting things that shouldn't be promoted on Twitter. But if you go back to the first Twitter files release, it was clear that the left wing, the Democrats, the Biden administration, people like that, they were contacting Twitter on a daily basis asking for right-wing political commentators to be removed. And then you're seeing this. There's further examples in there that I can remember where they've actually removed a Republican senator from Twitter. Now, if that isn't political interference during an election, what is? And the worst part of this is he's focusing on America, and more than likely it's only affected America. But what happens if there's a Twitter UK?
Yeah.
Or a Twitter France or a Twitter Spain, and they're doing the same thing, and they're having the pressure applied from the Conservative Party to stop the Labour ministers from talking, or whatever they have in, Macron does the same thing in France. It's political interference, and during an election, that's not democracy.
But hasn't this always happened? When we had newspapers, it used to happen, didn't it?
Well, Murdoch,
Yeah.
back in the day,
He's a kingmaker.
yeah, he would
Queenmaker.
sit down with Tories, and he kept Thatcher in power for 19 years. And then Tony Blair went to see him and promised that he would, what was it? Was it unregulate or deregulate
something to do with that.
the papers? And all of a sudden...
What, not to do with Sky? Broadcasting, I think, that he said that he would unregulate.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, you've got Labour in power for...
Yeah. So it's always happened, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe the difference is that Twitter put itself out there as being...
Open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not primarily a governmental platform. So it's not. So it is intervention with government parties, I suppose, but it's not. Its sole purpose isn't for, discussing and voting on views, political views. But so I don't know, which is what I'm kind of talking about now, is for general social medias, are there regulations on government
No.
like talking?
No. There's no regulations because they have their own will.
Right.
And you know this because if you look at what happened over the last 2 years with C, YouTube, Twitter, obviously, Facebook, they all had pressure applied to them by every political party in every country to say you need to limit the information that doesn't go with our narrative. And that's now coming out as being a fact. Whereas at the time, if you challenged it, you were called tinfoil hat wearer, conspiracy theorist, and all that happened was that any dissenting voice was removed from Twitter and from Facebook. And if you look, even if you look at the Tory party, it's come out about the fact that there was the doctors all had to sign, what they considered to be the right answer to cope with C, and the majority voted in a different way than the government wanted to go with it, and they lost, and then they were all silenced. So it has been going on for a long time, but there needs to be some kind of regulation,
Right.
and fines. Even auditors auditing.
I want to audit that.
Even auditors to come in and take over and go through what they're claiming is a system. I mean, that's what Elon Musk's done. He went in there, he put his Tesla engineers in,
Yep.
gave them a week to go through all the code and work it all out, and now all the truth's coming out.
Yeah. What he needs to do at the end, though, is appoint an independent panel to continue to monitor.
That's what he's
Yep.
doing.
He has to do that.
He's getting an independent panel of left and right wing people
Yeah.
who are going to sit in a group and then decide how Twitter can move forward.
Yeah.
Because it has to be apolitical. It can't be left wing
Yeah.
or right wing. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
If you look in Canada with Trudeau, he has the police on his side. But not only does he have the police on his side, the press and media are state sponsored.
Yeah.
So how are you ever going to be
Yeah. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
independent when
Yeah.
you're in the pocket?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have left wing and right wing people both agreeing on something, then it must be wrong. Like, if agreeing on something being wrong, if you have two polar opposite party, supporters agreeing on something is wrong, then obviously that must be a wrong thing. So, it's good that he's gotten both people and he's not just getting one-sided one side of the argument.
No, I agree. Absolutely.
So I'm glad he's taking the right steps to
Yeah.
make it better than what it was.
Now, I think we should move on a little bit from Twitter and give that a bit of a break because that's going to be ongoing for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
So a little bit like SBF. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've held off on the SBF news
Right.
because we don't want to make the Sam Bankman-Fried FTX channel. We don't want to make it a Twitter channel.
What's
It's
he been
everywhere.
doing
It's
this
on
week?
it's on Financial Times as well. It's everywhere. It's on front
Everywhere.
pages.
Yeah.
Sam Bankman-Fried, obviously we've talked about him lawyering up.
Yeah.
He's refused to go to America to go to the independent inquiry.
Yeah.
He will do it remotely. And he's now trying to release a coin to... So I tweeted last night and I got some flack for it. So I said, Sam Bankman-Fried, the criminal, wants to produce a coin to pay back the people that he has defrauded by manipulating the previous coin that he released to them. So he's going to create another coin he can manipulate to pay back the people he's already
How's he
manipulated
going to pay the people back then by robbing other people?
from the profits of the new company,
Where are those profits coming from?
the operating profits that come from the new business, which doesn't
New
exist, the new coin. Celsius are going to do the same thing. Celsius want to issue a new coin, which is like a debt.
Yeah.
It has worked once in the past with Bitfinex. Bitfinex had a coin that was given to you when there was a hack and they lost tens of thousands of Bitcoin were stolen. and they gave you a coin. I can't remember the name of it now, if it's called Leo or something like that. And it has worked in the past, but that's on a profitable business.
Yeah.
Now,
Not on a startup.
Now, Sam Bankman-Fried has been found to be responsible for everything that's gone wrong in the market since May.
Yeah.
So he borrowed money.
Yeah.
He used it to depeg Luna and UST. Sorry, he used it to depeg UST, which then caused Luna to death spiral. The money that he borrowed, he couldn't pay back, which then caused another company to go bankrupt. Luna and UST went out of business. That was 40 or 60 or 80 billion gone overnight. 3i Capital, they went out of business. So this domino effect that does always happen during a bear market is happening again. And it's all come down to him because he thought he could manipulate the price of UST so he could drop it to 90 cents, buy it at 90 cents. The price goes back to $1 and he's made $200 million in a week. And in fact, he depegged it to the point where it crushed it. So how he's not in prison, I don't know.
Baffling.
So anyway, I'm trying to stay away from Sam Bankman-Fried because it will take up
it will.
the channel. So the ECB, which is the European Central Bank.
Yep.
This is a quick one.
Right. ECB official calls for ban on crypto. A European Central Bank senior executive Fabio Panetta has proposed a ban on cryptocurrencies with an excessive ecological footprint, and once again likened investing in crypto to gambling. Officials have previously rejected an outright ban on crypto mining, but recent legislations called MICA could require firms to report any potential environmental impact.
There is no environmental impact on mining.
We've seen it before. They
excess energy.
Yeah, like the ones on the rigs, like the oil rigs, for example. Just uses unless you had to get the machinery to capture it, and the costs of that, and it might not even be positive to try capture all this excess. But with the mines that we've seen on the oil rigs, it's not that hard to capture it.
Nope. And
then just put it into mining. It's profitable, and at the end you're not
wasting.
It's
environmentally friendly.
Yeah, you're not wasting any resources.
Nope.
And it's positive. It's positive for Bitcoin as well.
When electricity was created, there were cartoons about people being electrocuted and skeletons walking around. When they invented the internet, the telephone companies came after them and said that the internet was never going to last.
Right.
It was never going to be a future. When they invented things like online banking, the Revolut and people like that, the traditional bank said, it's never going to last, it's a scam, it's a fraud. Crypto's come along. What do you expect from the establishment?
They want to keep their space as the top. So
exactly. Bitcoin's a fraud. They can't control it.
No.
They couldn't control electricity. They couldn't control telephone lines. They couldn't control television. They can't control the internet. And now they can't control crypto.
Yeah.
And all they're trying to do is protest rather than adopt.
Well, I think they're protesting while they adopt.
Well, that's what's been happening in certain countries.
Yeah.
Right.
So in Turkey, for example, where the lira, or I think it's the Turkish lira?
Yeah, maybe.
That's gone to nothing. So all the while that's going, the inflation I think is 90% in Turkey. While that's happening, all the Turkish officials are buying Bitcoin, but they've banned the purchase of Bitcoin in Turkey. So it's one rule for you.
But how many have we seen of these banks and what have you that have been saying it's no good, and other departments buying it for them?
It's been going on and on. Bank of America said crypto is never going to happen.
Yeah.
And in 2025, they're probably going to have their own crypto division fully live so everybody can buy crypto through it.
Yeah.
BlackRock did the same thing.
Yeah.
He called it a scam. And now all of a sudden they've teamed up with Coinbase. So this environmental impact is come about because of the energy problems in Europe, which has come about from the green agenda, which you may or may not agree with, where there's not enough energy anymore. And suddenly, 5 years ago we had enough energy, and we haven't got enough now. So that's their agenda.
Yeah.
And what happens is, once you start to outlaw crypto mining, for Bitcoin especially, you lose the political clout that you have over those miners. So then you force other countries like El Salvador, that's been buying Bitcoin every month. Right. That's going to be one of the richest nations on earth if Bitcoin hits $200,000 or $300,000. So they're going to have the political clout that people like France and Germany are going to lose if the EU outlaw it.
Right.
So anyway, that's my little soapbox comment.
Right. I'll continue. So they compared crypto to it's just a new way of gambling. On the whole, it's difficult to see a justification for the existence of an unbacked crypto assets in the financial landscape.
Which is fine when you've got unbacked currencies like the euro,
which is based off the
and
trust
the
of a government,
and the yen and the dollar. Yeah, that's fine. We can have them because they haven't been backed by gold for 50 years.
Their features mean they're just speculative assets. In fact, they are gambling disguised as investment assets.
I'll agree with him that 95% of cryptocurrencies are not going to make it out the other end.
Yeah.
But I would also have said the same thing at the start of the internet, that 95% of companies that started 20 years ago.
Yep.
No, Karen, that's my point. So the last two paragraphs it just sums it all up.
Well, what I was saying was I started my first internet business in 2001, and I was in the number of kebab and pizza places where I told people what I did, and they all said the same thing. That's never going to work. How is it ever going to make any money? And it's never going to last. And they said that about the internet. And they were right about most companies. Like I said, 95% of companies that started in the year 2000 no longer exist. And the ones that do, even lastminute.com, that's still around. That came out in 2003, 2002, something like that. Okay. But Amazon hasn't been around that long. No. Google hasn't been around that long. So they are right, but it's not to do with the companies. It's to do with adoption.
Yeah.
It's blockchain adoption that's going to take time, not some harvest coin, which is a project that fails.
Yeah.
Bitcoin will never fail. Ethereum will probably never fail, but I wouldn't put any money into anything other than those two assets, not financial advice, because everything else is too speculative. So he's right, but he can't tar Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency with that brush.
Yeah.
What's the last two paragraphs?
The last two articles. Okay. Actually, I'll probably do this sentence as well. Okay, he added, to harness the possibilities of digital technologies, we must provide solid foundations for the broader digital finance ecosystem. This requires a risk-free and dependable digital settlement asset.
He's going to say CBDC, isn't he?
Which only central bank money can provide. And this is why the ECB is working on a digital euro while also considering new technologies for the future of wholesale settlement in central bank money. The European Commission announced earlier this year it will propose a bill in early 2023 to introduce a Euro Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC, while the ECB has been working on developing such a project since July 2021.
Idiots. Do they think people... Well, they obviously do think people are stupid.
Yeah.
Central banks are the reason we have inflation.
Yeah.
That's it. End of story. So they want to keep control over something because they want to print money every year to pay for the projects that they need to pay for everything else, while still taxing everybody. I'm not putting my tinfoil hat on again. But you can't have... Once you lose control of something, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. There are things in the world. The internet. Who controls the internet? Yeah. Nobody really controls the internet.
Nope.
No. That's why it's succeeded.
That's why. Exactly. That's why.
Same with, because all the things which you said, you listed off quite a few, like internet, now with obviously cryptocurrencies. The fact that anyone, for example, with cryptocurrency, anyone can start their own miner, which is, the source code and the little server node of Bitcoin. Internet, you can start your own servers, make your own website. Everyone can access it and build a stronger, web of connections. As long as people are still doing that, it won't really ever fail because it will still exist.
What I agree with him on, or her, is it him?
It's him, I think.
What I agree with him on is, I do think that mining should be regulated. And the reason I say that is that you can't have a 5,000 server Bitcoin miner factory open in the middle of, say, London or Manchester and immediately put that drain on the electricity supply. Yeah. I agree. And I think anything where there's a certain amount of energy required, I think they should be licensed or regulated to stop it being a huge drain. Like in Texas, I think in Texas they've got power problems. Suddenly, all the Bitcoin miners went to Texas because it's crypto friendly. So you need that. Was it California or Texas? I can't remember which. But anyway, the point of the matter is, I think there should be some kind of regulation going on. Anyway, so enough of the ECB. We'll probably hear about them next week, saying that they've created a CBDC that doesn't work. Now, this is, I can't believe this has happened. Anonymous Visa.
Anonymous.
Is that not next?
It was. I think it was flipped around.
I might have flipped it around.
Okay, yeah, I'll go now here. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm gonna have to look at this after this.
Is this Visa?
It's Visa. 80 million stores in the world, Visa.
Right. Go on, tell me.
Fintech company Zelf launches anonymous Visa debit card.
I wonder if they've got a Christmas campaign called Zelf on a Shelf.
What's it say?
With crypto, yeah, hang your head. The company's latest initiative will allow users to open up a US dollar checking account with only their name, email, and phone number.
Name, email, and phone number.
That can be okay. Yeah, so you're basically saying Visa debit cards can be used in 80 million locations worldwide. The initiative will allow them to open checking accounts with only needing their name, email, and phone number. So you don't really need any KYC other than that.
No KYC, no AML.
No. And it will be provided with an anonymous virtual debit card, which works with Apple Pay and Google Pay within 30 seconds. Self-collaboration with Visa aims to prioritize privacy and security for users when it comes to transacting with crypto. The founder of Zelf said reducing verification requirements will attract more customers and help the global unbanked population gain access to financial services.
You see, now he says global unbanked. Now, is it a US telephone number or just a telephone number? Because this screams fraud.
It really does.
Yeah, I mean, it's going on about US dollars constantly, so it might be American. I mean, it might be everywhere. It's crypto, so it's accessible anywhere. But I don't know. It doesn't mention. I don't believe it mentions anywhere here.
See, back in the day, you used to be able to walk into a shop and get a pay-as-you-go SIM card. I think you can still do it in certain parts of the world.
Yeah.
But that really shouldn't be allowed either.
No.
Because you can get that telephone number and cause all kinds of havoc on Facebook and Twitter and, anonymous calls to people and things like that. So I'm not a big fan of it.
No.
I'm not.
Burners, aren't they?
Yeah, burners.
Yeah.
Very
I've watched Line of Duty.
Clandestine, isn't it? Yeah. So my issue with this is that although it's a beautiful idea, I don't believe for 1 minute that Visa have really agreed to this.
No, that's what. No.
Yeah, I think it's just using their services.
I
and
don't
by
understand how you
themselves.
cannot have the KYC.
No, neither do I. Because you load the card with crypto,
Right.
so you don't put pounds, shillings, and pence onto the card. You load it with crypto. If you load it with crypto,
I don't know actually.
maybe it's a little. Can you?
I'm on the website right now. It's a really nice website.
Connect to Stripe? Do you want to bring it up?
I have it up. It's going to take a while for it to
Alright.
load in there.
We're
but,
behind, aren't we?
There's a little rotating modal thing here.
Oh, that's nice.
And the first one, it has money, game loot, so you can put NFTs on it, game loot, so you can connect to Steam and game stuff. Yeah. So you have NFTs, crypto, but you also have money. So I think you can still use normal dollars.
I can't see how this has ever got past risk and compliance in Visa.
So instant crypto top-ups, game loot, track inventory value, and trade loot for books.
There must be some kind of limit on it. I've just seen there that it's got the FDIC insured, which is in the UK we have the equivalent. I can't believe for 1 second. It's great news, and if it does allow non-Americans to use it, it's great. But again, with is it Stripe? What's the Solana project for payments? What was it called? Can you remember? We looked at this.
Oh my god.
But it goes back to the old adage that everybody in Africa who this is aimed at, they all have mobile phones.
Yeah.
They can all get their own crypto wallet. And Solana were working on a project to give you the ability to pay things with the wallet. I can't remember the name of it.
Add NFTs to Google Wallet, Apple Wallet, and Apple Watch. That's pretty nice.
It'd be interesting to see how this progresses.
It is.
We should keep our eye on this.
This is very. I might have to go home and look at this.
I think initially we're
create
very sceptical.
I am, but more from the fraudulent point of view.
Yeah.
We don't want We don't want more fraud
No.
in the industry. We need it to be cleaned,
Yeah.
regulated, and made safe for the average person.
Oh, so within their own little community of Zelf, you can offer, or you can post your own NFTs to sell within Zelf.
I don't like that idea either.
No, I just don't.
I'd rather sell it on a known marketplace. I don't want to do it here.
No. Next, then.
Yeah.
Which is the article that
We thought was first, or thought was before.
well, this is the one that will put you to sleep well at night.
Good.
This one.
Crypto.com.
Crypto.com. Bit of background. CZ started to throw. What's the word, Brogan, in your ute? Is it shade?
Sure.
They were throwing shade, or they were fading Crypto.com, saying that it doesn't have proof of
Bad-mouthing.
reserves. Yeah, bad mouthing.
Right.
They were saying that Crypto.com doesn't have proof of reserves. Proof of reserves
I
is
remember him doing that.
yeah. So if you've got
Naughty,
$1,000, it's very naughty. It's very naughty, and I don't trust
Influencing.
anybody. Don't trust Elon Musk. Don't trust CZ. Everybody is a hero until
Yeah.
they're not a hero.
Yes.
Or as Brogan likes to say,
You either become a hero or see yourself live. You either live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
exactly.
Something along those lines.
So he threw shade at Crypto.com. Chris, the CEO, he's quite a level-headed chap. He doesn't get drawn into these Twitter
Yeah.
beefs with everybody. So he said, okay, I'll go and do proof of reserves, which is what they've done. And that proof of reserves shows that what you have in Crypto.com is really there, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum. So he did that quite a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And yesterday, they had a fully audited proof of reserves done by a third party. But not only that, you can log in with your own account and you can see your balances on the audit.
Wow.
Wow.
So I logged in. I've got so much Bitcoin there. And I went down and it showed that I had X Bitcoin, X Ethereum, X whatever else it was.
Yours.
And it was
Assigned to you.
correct. And if Brogan brings up the
Article.
article,
Yep.
is there a,
CZ had anything to say about this?
no, he wouldn't have
No,
anything
he
to say
wouldn't,
about
would he?
this
No,
because
he
this is
wouldn't.
positive news for the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to shed light on it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you bring up the article, there's does it actually have the picture on there of the proof of reserves? You're going to get to that bit, aren't you?
I'll just read it. I'll read it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a graph. I'll read a bit of it.
Okay.
Crypto.com release proof of reserves. Assets are fully backed one-to-one on our platform. Crypto.com trusted more than 70 million customers. So basically, it's just saying that all the assets are backed one-to-one. There is a table, I suppose.
Yeah,
so
bring the table
in
up.
scope asset. Actually, it'll appear on the screen in a minute, and then you can comment on it. Just give it a moment.
So the long and short of this table is that they're not just collateralized to 100%.
It's
they're
over like 2%, 1% above it.
Yeah, they're like collateralized between 101 and 103%. So
Clever.
for every $1,000
Yeah.
you've got in Crypto.com, they have $1,010 or $1,030 worth of assets backing your
So they have a
assets.
surplus.
They have a surplus.
Right.
And this is verified by a third party. The Merkle trees have been done, and the Merkle tree is, as Brogan.
Yes, the hashing of the hash, which is like a unique key which identifies like a
Did it
transaction.
tell you who the auditor was?
Yes,
In the article?
it mentions the auditor. It's not the auditor
No.
who's in,
Unfortunately,
who's with
Yeah.
us.
they should have got the others.
Yeah, it's difficult.
There'd just be a room full of people with the life force drained out of them.
Yeah.
And grey ceilings and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and cobwebs
half
everywhere.
the walls turn grey from blue.
The
As
top
you
half
walked.
would be white because it'd be frosted.
Right.
It'd be cold in there as well.
I don't think. I mean, it probably does mention.
I think it
can't
begins
find
with an M. The company that have done it, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's a third party. This
the
is great news.
Mazars group.
Yeah. So this is great news, and I'm going to clip some of this and hopefully paste it into the Crypto.com group
Right.
because there's been an awful lot of people panicking about
Yeah.
this,
Mm.
and I think this just puts it to bed. So far, Crypto.com, Binance, Kraken, KuCoin, I think, Bybit or one of the other ones begins with a B. They've all done something similar.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, they are all liquid.
Yeah.
And at this moment in time, I consider them to be as safe as can be.
Yeah.
Other than having them in your own wallet,
Yeah.
they're as safe as can be.
Well, you're talking about Crypto.com groups, and that sparks an idea in my head of telling you guys you should join our group, which is the channel. So I think you should scroll down, click the subscribe button, make sure notifications are on, and like the video.
That was decent, right?
Thank you. We're trying to get to the same amount of subscribers as the height of Rishi Sunak.
Which is
1.7.
1.7. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to go.
We'll get there though.
And anyway, please drop a comment on anything we've said.
Yes, please.
And we will read out your comments on
We
air.
have it open.
So, next. This is a little bit of
Are we back to him
FTX.
again?
We are, but we're not.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to read the
I'll just read
article
it.
before I roast him?
All right. Kevin O'Leary lost $15 million dollars he was paid to be FTX's spokesperson. Kevin O'Leary fessed up to making a massive mistake with FTX and is working to find out where his money went amid the bankruptcy. Shark Tank star and investor Kevin... Is this the old guy with no hair?
Yeah. He's no, that's Jim Cramer. It's not Cramer. It's Kevin O'Leary. They both got no hair. But Jim Cramer's the famous one that says buy... Jim Cramer is famous in the crypto world. He said Coinbase at $430 a share is cheap, and now I think it's $47 a share.
Oh, everything he touches turns to tin.
Yeah. So what you do is there is a term, and you basically invert what Jim Cramer tells you to do.
Right.
So when he says buy, you sell everything. And Kevin O'Leary was anti-crypto until Sam Bankman-Fried, who I've got more information on after this, until Sam Bankman-Fried paid him $15 million. We didn't pay him. He gave him $15 million on the platform.
Like he threw it in with a yo-yo.
He didn't know. He didn't. He said, I've got $15 million for you, but I've put it behind the bar.
Yeah.
So you just need to come over here.
Yeah.
And you'll get your $15 million.
In your own time.
In your own time.
He threw the yo-yo at him.
Yeah.
And then it spun, and then the rope snapped, whacked him on the forehead,
But
it
then
bounced
came
back
back.
to him.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So, Mr. O'Leary.
Mr. Man. Known in some circles as Mr. Wonderful.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He's a ladies' man.
Really?
Doesn't look it, apparently, does it?
No.
It's not how he looks, it's how much money is in his bank account.
Yeah.
We ain't got any,
He would have had
has
50 million more though if he actually went through this, but no, that's unfortunate. It was not a good investment. I don't make good investments all the time. Luckily, I make more good ones than bad ones. But that was a bad one. That was the most nothing sentence I've ever heard.
Yeah.
All he could have said that was a bad investment.
Yeah.
I make good investments. I make bad investments. Like, 6-year-old is investing to have a net worth of around 400 million. I don't care. He was questioned on what initially drove him to jump onto the FTX bandwagon, given that he previously indicated that he held back from crypto in its early days due to his own rigorous compliance standards.
I can think of 15 million reasons why he changed his mind.
I obviously all know all the institutional investors in this deal. We all look like idiots. Let's put that on the table. Sam Bankman-Fried is an American. His parents are American compliance lawyers. There were no other American large exchanges to invest in if you wanted to invest in infrastructure plays. So basically, he said
US was available.
He basically just said Sam Bankman-Fried and his parents
Coinbase
are
was
American
available.
and lawyers, so it should be fine.
Crypto.com was available. But apart from the three biggest ones in the world, there was none others available. I can think of 15 million reasons why I said that.
I'm of the ilk and of the group of people that says you're innocent until proven guilty.
He's
That's
guilty.
what I believe. I want the facts.
He's nailed
and
on
so,
guilty.
If you tell me that you didn't, or you did or didn't do something, I'm going to believe you until I find out it's falsehood.
So Sam Bankman-Fried crashes 4 other companies, then decides to crash his own company and his investment company.
And he still says...
And he still says, well, it's obviously not him, is it? The man's a clown, and the reason that he's backing up Sam Bankman-Fried is, I believe, he thinks he's going to get the money out of him.
He's got a big wool dome around his head, which is easily accessible from however many meters around him, which can just all's got to happen.
Yeah.
So Sam Bankman-Fried. Now that we're talking about Sam Bankman-Fried, there is a crypto news publication called The Block.
Right.
And it was supposed to be quite a nice, independent, impartial company. Sam Bankman-Fried paid the owner $28 million.
Was that on a yo-yo?
In cash.
Oh.
To the owner to sway public opinion on FTX. But he paid it him directly, not to the Block. So the Block employees were not aware that the owner was guiding the opinion of FTX. FTX also offered $100 million to Miss Shake It Off Taylor Swift to sponsor her world tour.
It's a bit odd.
And she turned it down, thankfully.
Good for her.
Right.
So he is a man who does nothing but bribe people to get where he wants to go.
True American way.
And I cannot believe that Kevin O'Leary is still defending him.
No.
When the man is a clear fraud.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's lost his $15 million that he never had in the first place, because the first thing you do with $15 million when somebody says it's here in your account with us is you take it out and you put it somewhere else, even if it's Coinbase.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Truly.
Now, what everybody...
You could have swung with it there, but I can't say it's a bit too rude for me.
You can't be rude on this channel. This is PG or at the most a 12.
Yeah.
People do get called idiots on this channel.
Oh.
But...
Yeah,
this is the one I know everyone's staying on for.
Yes.
What is
the
this?
preface? How long ago was that? About 50 minutes ago. We said we've got an amazing article, which me and you have no idea
I've
what it's
got
about.
no idea what's going on.
Just apart from the name, Cock Punch.
Cock Punch.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
And I don't think it's an alcoholic beverage made with chicken soup.
I was going to say, is it a Christmas sort of eggnog?
No, it's
type
it's
thing?
one word.
Oh.
No dash or anything, or space.
No. Take it away.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep, go for it.
I mean, look at his face. He's born ready.
Hit me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's years of watching Barnsley right there in that face.
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Tim
Don't
Ferriss.
talk about Stockport. There's years of Stockport in this race. So old.
Tim Ferriss.
I'm only 25.
Go away.
Go on.
Tim Ferriss NFT collection Cock Punch tops OpenSea. Tim Ferriss is... He's spelled differently. Tim Ferriss, author and podcast host, launched an NFT-driven fiction project called Legend of Cock Punch. Popular author and podcast host Tim Ferriss launched an NFT-driven fiction project called
I bet they
Legend
look really, really good,
Cock
don't
Punch. It's a huge success, as the initial mint sold out very quickly, and secondary sales have placed it on the top of OpenSea
I bet
NFT
those
marketplace.
cocks were flying out, weren't they? I bet they were everywhere.
It topped the weekly ranking that reflects a trading volume of 3,700 Ethereum, backed with a floor price of 0.98 Ethereum, and has maintained sales of 2,700, its highest selling price at 4 Ethereum.
It's very expensive, that.
It's got about 6,000 images.
What are they?
The cocks.
Well, they're not.
Male
They
hens.
It'll take 20 seconds to scroll up. So I'll just,
Okay.
I'm so humbled and amazed at the turnout for the Cock Punch mint that I'm at lack of words. Huge thanks to everyone who participated, as well as the entire team who helped make it happen.
Do they give anything back in return, or is it just yet another picture?
It doesn't really say much. Initial sales through pre-mint. So generated over $2 million in pre-sales. All proceeds going to the author's own Say Foundation.
It's a foundation. It's for a good cause.
Okay.
Oh, treatments related to psychedelics, life extension, mental health, and more. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right. Well, okay. So it was
It's an
a.
unfortunate name for charity, though, to be fair.
Well, I think he's gone down the route of shock value.
Like my bits. I keep telling you.
He's gone down the route of shock value. And the reason I like this is the very first questions come out of your mouth was, what utility does it have?
Yes.
This isn't about utility. This is about raising awareness and money for a good cause.
Right.
Now, I don't think $2 million on the grand scheme of things is going to make a huge difference to a lot of people's lives, but it's probably going to make a huge difference to the people
Yeah.
that it comes in
Yeah.
touch with. And this is a little bit for me. The reason I put it in there, apart from the headline, which I thought was a nice way to finish the show, was we talked about galleries and we talked about fractionalizing paintings. So you really do own a tiny fraction of a Rembrandt or a Dali painting or whatever. Whereas this isn't so much a painting that you buy. But what you could do further down the line with this is it could show you the money that you've paid for Cock Punch 123 has helped these 5 people who might be ex-drug addicts, homeless men, people who've tried to take their own lives or whatever. So for me, it's a very good cause. And of course, don't forget that when you sell, so if you sell your NFT to Brogan, 10% of that fee also goes again.
So it's a generator.
Yeah. And it's in your interest to sell your NFT. Because if you just sit there and hold on to it, there's no revenue added.
Yeah.
And how many are there? 5,000?
5,555.
So if you think there's 5,000 of them and 10% goes, if every one of them is sold again, that's $50,000 a time going to this charitable foundation. That's a lot. A lot of money, really. So there's no utility.
Yeah.
But for the younger generation,
Feel good factor.
it's a feel good factor, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Which you wouldn't expect from a Cock Punch.
that I think's the twist.
Yeah.
If that's an unfortunate term.
Yeah.
The twist is that it's actually doing the world good. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we've done quite well. We've managed to get to 55 minutes again.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we're doing well.
Roughly an hour.
Professional, aren't we?
Do you know
Why
what-
are we not more famous?
It's very true. Why are we not more famous?
I think it's because we stream at 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning when everyone's still in bed.
Yeah, but
That's
the
true.
Wednesday one, to be fair, did quite well.
The
didn't
Wednesday
Did.
one's doing really well.
Did we have how many people?
6.
I think we had 30 people watching us in total on the
Oh
over the
yeah,
course of the stream.
unique people. I had about 20.
Yeah,
Decent, though.
not bad. Not
pretty
bad
good.
for a starter.
Yeah.
Today was about 5 tops, as in like
That's not bad.
concurrent.
Not bad for a Saturday morning.
Though, at this unearthly hour.
We've got some questions,
Oh.
Do.
and we've been asked these questions. Who's asked these questions?
It's a good question.
Are there any, have I not put the names down?
No.
They've all come from the same unfortunate individual who messaged me on Twitter and who said, if you're for beginners and learners, why don't you answer beginners and learners questions?
Right.
So we'll switch it up. Let's start with Brogan today.
Okay.
What's your question, Brogan?
So my question is, who created Bitcoin and when was it launched? So Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin.
Who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
The man who created Bitcoin.
And who is he? We know his name. Who is he?
It's a good question.
The answer is nobody knows. That's the
That's
answer.
why I said it's a good question.
Some people think it's John McAfee.
Do you remember the wrestler in the 80s? You know, in Big Daddy and all that.
Yeah.
Lot? Kenzo, what's his face?
Yeah.
Nobody knew who he was.
No. Until they pulled his mask off.
I don't think they ever did they? Or did they right at the end?
They did,
But then
yeah.
they said it were an imposter.
Yeah.
And when was it launched? 2nd of January 2009.
2nd of January 2009. Wow. Only 13 years. He started a movement, that man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Should we leave Julie until last?
Yeah.
What's
Well-
my question?
Yeah, you got quite a lengthy one. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, it could be really long.
Your question is, what
Yes.
is the main difference between Bitcoin and NFTs?
What's the difference between Bitcoin and an NFT?
Yes.
An NFT is a non-fungible token, which means it's not interchangeable. It's unique. Whereas Bitcoin is fungible. So I can send you one Bitcoin, you can send me one Bitcoin back, but they will be different tokens. So NFTs are basically unique, like
Right.
a ticket with a special number on it. It's unique to you.
Or a lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket, yes. Whereas Bitcoin is like the cash in your pocket. I can give you £20 and you can give me two £10 notes back, and it's the same monetary equivalent.
Right.
That's it, in as simple as I can make it, I reckon.
Very nice. Okay.
Now then,
Julian,
what have we got for the big man?
How would you explain Bitcoin and blockchain to someone who's hearing about it for the first time?
Oh, what a question.
That's a very good
I'm going to sit back for this
Amazing.
one.
Yeah, that was a
I've
good
also
question.
I can't-
naturally started.
I can't wait to hear this answer.
Yeah, because we discussed this before we came on air, didn't we? And my instant reaction was, what have we been doing for the last 6 months? We do it twice a week to try and answer this question.
But we don't know this specific question.
Yeah, we do.
No.
And we've done little short clips on it.
I think this is
If you subscribe to
distraction.
our channel, you'll get all the little short clips where we've broken everything down.
And turn
For
notifications on as
beginners,
well.
didn't we?
And
We
like
did
the
it for
video.
beginners.
We did.
Simplistic terms. There's one on there that you can follow.
What is Bitcoin? What is blockchain?
Correct.
What is
Cold storage.
mining?
All this. Open source.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is they need to look at our
Crypto Academy.
Crypto Academy.
Correct.
I
and
believe it's a
find-
playlist, isn't it?
There is
Yes,
a
there
playlist,
is.
Playlist.
Yeah.
and they're all between 30 and 50 seconds long.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
short.
They're
Or
short.
shorts.
You can watch them a few times until you learn it.
Why make your life long?
Parrot fashion. Like your times tables.
And while you're there, you need to check out the Bard's poems,
Beautiful.
Thanks for that.
which are beautiful.
Yeah.
Time sensitive, though, so some of them are to do with what's happened at the time.
Yeah.
Others not so much. Others are kind of timeless classics.
Yeah.
You know, like Shawaddy Waddy.
What is that? What is timeless? Is people subscribing to our endless cause of
That's true.
giving crypto knowledge to the masses. So please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn notifications on.
And we will see you
The next
next
stream.
Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. Central European Time.
It's not the semi-finals, is it, that day?
No, it won't be that close.
Are you sure?
It won't be that close. We're not going to be there anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, we're going to be there.
No, we're going to lose 4-0 today to France.
No, we're not.
2 Harry Maguire own goals.
No.
Pickford own goal. And Gareth Southgate penalty.
I'm thinking it's a 1-0 win with the Maguire Bosch.
I'm going to go for 3-0 England.
We are very optimistic, aren't we?
We are. What are you going for? Well, we're in crypto. We have to be optimistic. Pick a score.
2-1.
2-1. There we go. That's it.
Well,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.